This is one of the greatest runs I've ever seen from a player and a team. When we talk about the totality of the season and to get to this point, one of the greatest runs I've ever seen. And it really emphasizes how great Patrick Mahomes and this team is. No, how great Patrick Mahomes is. You see, this is the same exact team that led the league in drops this year. This is the same exact team that we looked and said that this could possibly be a one and done team. It's the same team that we looked at and said they do not have a number one receiver. And honestly, they don't. They have Travis Kelce, who we'll talk about in a second, but they don't have a number one receiver. This is the same team that we questioned. While, yes, we know their defense is good, their offense is not good enough to win a game in the playoffs. This is also a team this is the first Patrick Mahomes team that's been underdogs in every single playoff game outside of, I think, the Miami Dolphins game. But I think that was a pick'em game. There's no doubt in my mind right now that we are watching the greatest quarterback of all time. I understand that there are accolades. And Patrick Mahomes can't touch the accolades that Tom Brady has accumulated over the years. But if we're talking about the complete package, if we're talking about talent, if we're talking about poise, if we're talking about arm strength, if we're talking about accuracy, if we're talking about the intangibles, if we're talking about accolades in a certain extent, if we're talking about just complete package, we have never, in my opinion, seen a player better than Patrick Mahomes. There's a reason why we talk about Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady differently. There's a reason why when we talk about Aaron Rodgers, we say he's arguably one of the most talented quarterbacks we've ever seen. But when we talk about Tom Brady, we say, oh, he's arguably the best we've ever seen. You blend that together, and you get Patrick Mahomes. One of the biggest reasons, and I don't want to go back to the Baltimore Ravens. I spent damn near 40 minutes talking about the Ravens. One of the biggest reasons why we thought that this was the game, this was the legacy-defining game for Lamar Jackson is because of the opponent. Patrick Mahomes has built himself to that point where he is a legacy-defining game now. The legacy is, can you beat Patrick Mahomes? Can you outduel Patrick Mahomes? Because Patrick Mahomes is the gold standard for the NFL. Patrick Mahomes is undoubtedly, the question isn't who is the greatest player right now. No, the question is, are we watching the greatest player ever? And right now, for me and for a lot of people, because that's been the conversation all week, it's hard for me to pick somebody else. I understand that what Tom Brady did, with all the rings in Tampa Bay and New England, but he, as a player, Patrick Mahomes is what? 15-3 right now in the playoffs? 15 wins in the playoffs, I believe. 14 or 15 wins in the playoffs. And 3 losses. 2 of them is to Tom Brady. 1 of them is to Joe Burrow. Which is why, when we talk about the power rankings of quarterbacks, which is why a lot of people put Joe Burrow at 2, because what? He beat Patrick Mahomes. That's why when we talk about tiers of quarterback, that's why it's very hard for people to elevate Josh Allen. That's why it's hard for people to elevate Lamar Jackson. They have great regular seasons, but when they get to those defining moment games, when they get to that game against that guy, that is Patrick Mahomes, they come up short. In the playoffs, they come up short. Again, we could have been talking about Lamar Jackson so much differently if he would have won this game, but he didn't. We're watching, in my opinion, the greatest quarterback of all time. We're also watching, in my opinion, arguably the greatest tight end of all time. He broke Jerry Rice receiving record in the playoffs. Travis Kelce, a tight end. He went 11 for 11 for 116 yards. Now, yes, I understand that. I just said that Kyle Hamilton had a great game, but there are levels. And Travis Kelce is on a different level. And if you look, that was it. Isaiah Pacheco ran for 68 yards, 24 carries. Rice only had 8 receptions for 46 yards. Valdez-Scantling had the game-sealing reception, 2 receptions, 38 yards. It was literally, I would say, the Ravens' defense did what they were supposed to do. It was just the offense didn't. And there's only so much holding down you can do for Patrick Mahomes before he gets up. And once he gets up, it's a wrap. I'm going to wait to give my Super Bowl predictions when we get closer to it, but we're watching the greatest quarterback of all time, in my opinion. And we are officially watching a dynasty at work. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.